if you look at TV changed a lot in advertising and marketing, because previously pre-TV it was print. So print dominated. So all the thinking is about print. The front page advertisement, that 100 in Times of India used to be the premium positioning kind of thing. But print is scattered. So if you want to reach out to different, let's say for a place like India, you have to probably look at a print reach in terms of taking the mainline papers, then the regional papers, the magazines, and so it's a very big print plan, and the key thinking is around that print ad, that Lalita ji ad, if you remember all those thinking. But once the TV started, then the thinking started changing. In advertising agency, all the chief creative officer came, who has got a good thinking, storytelling kind of background. That you can see early stages like Lalita. If you remember all those iconic ads, Liril ad or Lalita ji, you can really link the creative directors along with it, because they change those become very iconic ad. People remembrance of those ads become very, very high. Even if you just tell a name, people will remember. It can be for Incredible India, it can be for and the sound, and even the Doordarshan sound, if I just play now, 90% people will say there's a sound coming from that this thing. So it become much more visual, but it's become very TV led. So the thinking changed. So the storytelling started saying that like a TV advertisement, and then every element will link to the TV advertisement. So becoming print first, it became TV first in like a late 80s and 90s part of it. So I think that really defined a large part of it. And what the marketing is always about building brands. Okay, so marketing team skill set revolved around building brand. So CMO over the period of time, because he has done, he has started as a brand manager, then he become product manager, then he become category manager, then he become a CMO. His knowledge base also was to be immense. He can actually look at an ad and say that, okay, this is wrong over there, and the CMOs are considered to be almost like, demigod kind of thing, because this guy, he can, so they are also equally famous. So it's like a more like advertising world also people are famous. It's more like a celebrity driven, like what you see in the news channels kind of thing, the news anchor kind of thing. So it is almost like people are very perceived because of their knowledge, which is over a period of time you have really honed the skill and what works. Come 2000, I think the internet started, and a lot of these internet companies come into play. But mostly these are not considered. In 2000 to 2010 probably it was considered more like a performance marketing. I'll do some Google search. Only the companies were involved in a digital led businesses, and maybe financial service player who looked at a lot of leads kind of thing. They use more like a lead medium. So all the Google search and display advertising, these are not considered to be like a brand or like building anything. It is not even engagement. It is just like giving you some business leads. So the businesses which are keen for leads, like a B2B financial services, services companies, they really picked it up rather than FMCG companies, because they really didn't see much value in doing that, because they were overall creating a brand. It's more like a driven with offers. It's like so for them the traditional medium still remained important, but the money started moving to digital media by the players for the BFSI kind of segment. But post 2010, I think rapid changes happened almost every 2 to 3 years. Different types of element came in and disrupted. I think the first page was coming in Facebook, and then Twitter, and because these mediums brought in their own peculiarities along with it. Like Facebook probably the first one which gives you opportunity. You can do a branded thing along in a digital media, but Google was not. Google was more like into more like a tactical ad, but Facebook provided that opportunity. Twitter, LinkedIn provided that opportunity to really target to the guys who more targeted kind of reach. Obviously, it might be costly, but you can reach out to, let's say, I'm a B2B company, I can really reach out to the CMOs and above, or AVPs and above. So LinkedIn provided that opportunity. So I think those large social networks coming in provided a very different kind of advertising opportunities to that. I think YouTube also came in and changed a lot of perception about people, because YouTube almost become almost like a TV channel, where but still it was consumption was by, let's say, till 2010 to 2015, the consumption was more web led. So in the sense, I'll open my laptop, then only I can consume. So So consumption is restricted to your, most of the people didn't have their personal machine, and then it's consumption restricted to office. And if you have a personal machine post 9 o'clock, and when you are at home and you're actually doing it, obviously the data was costly. So I think 2015 onwards, mobile penetration reaching, and having the mobile where you can actually watch the content, which is smartphones, really changed the entire game. And obviously we know what Jio did after 2017 and all, because Jio really dramatically changed the entire perception, because the data become very cheap. Probably India is still the cheapest country for data in the world, and the content consumption become mobile. And if you look at the mobile, everyone, whether he has money or not, whether your maid or a driver or anyone on the road, everybody will have a smartphone. And the smartphone prices, with the Chinese smartphone coming in, smartphone prices also has come down. It is most it's almost like a sub $1,000 smartphone you can get in, sub $100 smartphone you can get in India. So those are really dramatically changed how people consume, look at brands kind of thing. So today, that is why content has become very important. It is video first, it is mobile first. So from a journey from a print first to mobile first and a video first, and what I say, the first 20 years probably the changes were very small. But last 10 years the changes almost every 2 years. It changes very rapidly, and the previous, whatever you were doing previously, probably no longer relevant. So I think in today's world, if I look at marketing team, they need to be very critical about the future trends and start planning for it, which probably was not so much important, probably 5 year before or 10 year before. Well, startups also every company requires marketing. Marketing is, every company requires brand building, every company requires engagement, every company looks at how to get consumer at the cheapest possible cost. The startup, the challenges are very different. Startup doesn't see in a company, you start a company with people with multiple skill set, you pay them and hire them. Startup started with an idea, where the founder tried to do almost every role, till the time he raised money and where he can actually hire people. So founder has got different challenges, marketing is one of them. So he is not really a marketer, and he definitely has a skill set challenge with himself. Many of the founders are not come from marketing background, mostly they have come from tech or a business background, so not typically a marketing background. Second thing, in the team also they lack the skill set to really understand. Third is for them to understand the entire marketing ecosystem, in the sense number of channels, number of media, number of opportunities, number of agency, number of tool. Again, if you look at marketing tools, currently there are probably more than 10,000 tools which are available in different, if you look at. So for them to select the right tool, right agency, right partner becomes very challenging. So typically they go with, they talk to their peers and try to find out, so they go by referrals and they're talking to peers. So again, everybody has their own segment of talking to few people and try to check something. And because their understanding is poor, sometimes they don't get the best result out of marketing. The second challenge is money. Marketing requires humongous amount of money to really establish a brand. Nobody has got budget to spend to really create the brand. So they have got little money, they want to see quick result. So most of the time what I call as marketing, that below certain level, if you spend money, that goes down the drain, because you don't reach actually the right target audience, or it doesn't convert it to the right objective never converts into the right benchmark. So I think those are the bigger challenges, like a team and budget is the bigger challenges what they face. And that is why when they do something on marketing, their experience is not so good. They believe marketing really don't deliver, or they have to spend a lot more money in marketing. So if you look at many of the startups, the fundraise, the first thing that's put huge amount of money is actually put for marketing. That is why they require fund. But if they really invest in a team and right partners, that money can be almost it can be 1/3. I'll give you an example of housing.com. Housing.com, during when they had the money, the first campaign they spent 120 crores. So that's a kind of money they just waste. So when you see the front paid advertisement, 6 companies doing Times of India only makes money. I don't think the startup really go anywhere by doing those advertising, because marketing is not a one-day game. It is almost like a planting a small tree and brand building, and you have to make it a large banyan tree. So that is how your efforts should be. It should not be one night. Overnight you can't, even if you take the full newspaper and brand it yourself, your brand will not go to the next level. But those are the kind of mistakes they do mistakes when they don't have money. They also do mistakes when they have money. Smarter startups really should look at growth hacking and using digital to really reach the target segment. Obviously understanding what is critical for them to really create that base before they go on a digital journey. So obviously their own digital asset need to be really well planned, be it their own app, website. It need to be optimized and all. So that's a first setup. Like SEO optimization is a first few things as a low cost thing they can do. Then then if you're there spending money in search and any of the digital channels, they need to have the right team and right partners to really do that. I think the agencies need to also think about, see, most of the agencies are like, obviously everybody looks at higher amount of money, they really look at bigger clients. I think agency needs to also come out with the digital packages kind of thing for the bite-sized packages for the startups, so that they know, okay, they if this size of this, they can really spend this much money, I can get this, or if you have got this much money, you can do 3 things. So they know exactly, that is more like a standardized packages, so okay, I've got this much money, I should spend money here, not there. So what is the right areas to spend money is also critical. And third thing is that obviously with a limited money, you can't change everyone's perception. So if I'm a startup primarily based in Mumbai, so I should look at one area. So if I do a more targeted campaign, what are the kind of things I need to do? Probably should I do along with the app download? So how can I link from reaching out to conversion? So if you really put in those kind of measures, they can really have a continuous amount of spend. I think digital is really well equipped to really provide that. But as I said, the challenge is more about choosing the right partners and right tools. I think that is where they need really huge amount of support to really do that. Because they are not really geared, or they don't have a team level. Even if they hire, I just went to one startup which is funded more than $10 million, but they have got only one single person who takes a call of 5 crore digital spend per month. So those are the kind of challenges they face, and whatever that kid's mistake is, then it must be for the entire money. So you put a lot of money on the marketing side, but not spend enough money in terms of building your team. So I think that's the thing. So team, partner and right challenges with the right objective will give them really desired outcome. Okay, I've got a different take on data-driven marketing. So first of all, your data has to be really genuine. See, there are 2 kinds of data. One is consumer data and one is prospect data. So let me first start with consumer data. So consumer data has to be really updated over a period of time. Typically in a financial services, most of the products are sold. So you might have a consumer data, but that consumer data have no use, because you have not chosen that product because of your own wish. You have been pushed to buy that product. So taking that data and doing analytics over it to find another second product is not really useful. But that is different in a product company. Let's say as a product company, I'm an Apple customer, I purchased this, I'm more likely to purchase another one. I'm more likely to purchase the third one. So what you need to, if you have a very good consumer data, that really helps you to find out lookalike audience and try to market them. So that is why the understanding customer data, regularly updating it is very much important. At the same time, it is also important, how can I find lookalike audience? Because consumer has a buying cycle. Let's say you purchase a new mobile phone. Obviously, you are not buying for next 2 to 3 years. But what is important for me, if your people of your profile has purchased this, can I find more people of that profile? So linking it to the prospect data, then data-driven marketing is really useful. Second part is prospects. So in prospect, come to your touch point, how you are actually taking him through the purchase journey. So entire customer journey is really, really critical if you want to use data-driven marketing. That is why there are a lot of companies like Adobe and all, they have got multiple tools like the marketing cloud, so that which helps in proper targeting to do the campaign to take it to next level. But again here, understanding of customer behavior, behavioral targeting really goes in a long way. But to be honest, many companies are not really equipped to that. They still do more of a database marketing rather than data-driven marketing. Data-driven marketing is where I know behaviorally, like, if you looked at this product, never came back. You looked at this product, came back again. My triggers should be different. My campaign should be different. My creative has to be different. I need to really check that and continuously change the triggers to really make that happen. I should know what kind of, can I really link you with my lookalike audience, with my existing customer base, and target similarly. So a lot of effort need to really go, and most of the companies are not really equipped. They think tools can help them. But more than that, see, tools have got great potential, but more than the tool, what the companies lack is their own teams who understand those tools in a greater detail to really make the meaningful result out of it. So data-driven marketing is great, but apart from e-commerce companies and few companies, I don't think everybody use it to the full potential in the market today.